Hi, I'm Lisa Marie. Welcome to my channel, Living My Best Life with Lisa Marie. In today's video, I'm going to make some awesome Christmas DIYs, and this video is sponsored by Hiipoo. I'll tell you more about that later in the video. And now, it's time to craft. If I mentioned that I bought something at Amazon, and it's something that you need too, you will find the link to my Amazon store in my description box below. I have this Hiipoo transfer paper, and this particular one's for dark fabric. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to design something on the computer, and then I'm going to use this paper, put it in my printer, and I'm going to print directly on it. And you can see on the back, it's got the paper that you remove afterwards, and then I will iron it on to the piece that I'm making. It also comes with parchment paper. Now this is what the printable looks like. I will have a link for this printable down in my description box, so if you'd like to have it and make this, you are more than welcome to go ahead and follow that link and get it. Now I have printed my design. Well, now I was almost out of ink, and so I'm actually really happy because I love the way it came out a little bit lighter, and that makes it look older and more vintage. So I found this really cool kind of like a canvas piece with wood on each end, and I got this, I think it was at Hobby Lobby, 40% off, and there's my printable. I'm going to separate the two pieces of paper. So you just pull from one edge, and I'm going to use my little Easy Press Mini to go ahead and iron this on. So first you go ahead and you get the piece, a little bit warm. And I have it set on medium, and that's based on the kind of surface that you're adhering it to. I'm going to cut off the edges first. I wish I had cut a little closer, but I did cut off the edges. The Hiipoo heat transfer paper is really easy to work with. I am very impressed with it. And now I'm separating the paper. I have the iron-on transfer, and I'm going to place it on top of my piece. Try to get it as smooth as possible and make it fit. And I had measured this in advance when I designed it. Putting down my parchment paper, and then I'm going to use my little Easy Press Mini, and you can use an iron. It's pretty much the same thing. And you just keep moving, and you just keep going over it and over it. It's a bigger piece, so you need to basically be on each one for 25 seconds. And then I went and did the edges again to make sure, and that's it. Super easy. You could design anything you want and print it on any fabric that you want. Shirts, aprons, dish towels, pillows, it's whatever you want, or a DIY piece like this, and I love it. This is a great alternative if you don't have a cutting machine. It's very affordable. Let me know what you think. For these DIYs, I'm going to be using the Hiipoo Waterslide decal paper. And this is really interesting stuff. I have never used anything like this before, so I was really careful to read the instructions. I've got these leftover cardboard circles from a picture from Dollar Tree that I didn't use, and I thought, you know what, I could make some really cute Christmas ornaments. So I designed 4 ornaments, and I will have the Brie printables, except for the one that says the Stewarts, because that's my name, and you probably don't want it. But I will have these available with a link down in my description box as well in case you want to make these. And what I'm going to do is I printed them out on the Waterslide decal paper. Then what you do is you go, well, I went outside and use a clear glaze, like a spray clear coat, and you do 3 coats 10 minutes apart so that it dries. Now I'm cutting out each of the ornaments. So I'm going to, of course, cut them into smaller pieces and then cut out the circles for all 4 of them. It's a really cool concept, and when you see how it works, you'll be pretty amazed like I was. It's hard to imagine how this is going to work, but when you see how it works in a little bit here, you'll be pretty blown away. I'm going to take some Crimson Waverly chalk paint. I'm going to paint around the edges of each of these round pieces of cardboard. And I actually did 3 coats. I'm going to dry those with my heat tool from Amazon. Then I'm going to get some really cute scrapbook paper I got at Hobby Lobby, and it's Christmas paper. I just love it. And I'm going to pick 4 different ones, and I'm going to trace out my circles on them, and then I will cut all 4 of those out. Then I'm going to pick the piece that I want for each particular ornament, and I'm going to use some Mod Podge and I'm going to adhere it. Now I'm going to make sure I don't put a heavy coat because I don't want any bubbles or ripples. So I'm just going to put some on, use my brayer, which is also from Amazon, and I will go ahead and adhere that to the cardboard. I will do that with all 4 of my ornaments. And of course I'll speed it up so that you can see it not in real time. Once I get all 4 of my ornaments set with the scrapbook paper on the back, I'm just going to take a nail file, but you could also use sandpaper or a sanding sponge from the Dollar Tree. And I did a close-up here so you could see I'm sanding down. I'm not going up and down, just down. And it's separating the paper at the edge, and it will make a really nice clean finish. You just kind of keep sanding down all the way around whatever piece you're working on, and it'll just come right off. And in a second here, you will see how the piece is separating. There it is. It's starting to separate right now. And then you just go ahead and you just take that right off. And it's just a perfect way to get a nice edge when you decoupage. I'm going to take this furniture marker that I found at the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to go around the edges of the pieces because I want them to look finished. I don't want to see the cardboard on there. I'm going to put some Mod Podge over the top of this side because what I want is it to be a nice smooth surface to put the Waterslide decal on. Now you may be wondering why it's called Waterslide decal. Well, you will see in just a few minutes here why. Now I'm going to take each of my decals and I'm going to put them with the appropriate scrapbook paper because I had picked them individually. And this is when I realized that I shouldn't have made my red border quite as thick. So I'm going to take some white chalk paint from Folk Art and I'm going to paint in the center. Now, if I had this to do again, I would have painted even more white and made an even thinner red border, and you'll see why in a minute here. And now for the magic. You put the little decal into water for 30 to 60 seconds. I had already put this one in and I just remembered I needed to get the top of my ornament wet. You want to get the top of your surface wet. So then I quickly got it wet again, and then you kind of dab it off. And watch, I am pushing with my thumb the decal right off the paper and then pulling with my other hand the backing out. And now I'm just going to smooth it out. Remember, it's wet, so it's easy to smooth around and kind of reposition it. Tell me that is not the coolest thing. I had no idea that's how this was going to work, and I'm very impressed. It's very cool. Once you get it in place and you've smoothed out the bubbles, then you go ahead and take like a paper towel and just dab it off lightly so that you can get the excess water. But it is very easy to just rub right on it, and if you see another bubble, just get it wet again and smooth it out. And I'm literally going to do this with all 4 of my ornaments. Now I'm going to go slow again so that you can see this. I'm going to put the decal in the water. Now this is slightly sped up so you don't realize how long it's really in there, but while it's in there I'm wetting the actual surface down, and then when the 30 to 60 seconds is up, I will pull my decal out of the water, tap it off so it's not dripping, and then I will slide the decal up a little so I can start putting it on the surface and then pulling out the backing. And again, smoothing it out. Is that not the coolest thing? And it's so inexpensive. I'm actually going to have a discount code for you guys down in the description box. So if you want to try this, you can. I'm very impressed. I mean, this is very, very cool. And I designed the decals. That's the neatest part of all. You can make anything you want. All you need is the decal paper and an inkjet printer, which most of us have. So now here I'm doing the third one. It's the same process for all of them, but I wanted you to be able to see it a few times because it is different than anything I've ever done before. One thing to keep in mind is that the decals come out on a clear surface, or when you slide it off, you see how it's clear. That's why I probably needed to do less of the red background, but I didn't realize that till I did it the first time. Now that I have all 4 of my ornaments, I need to make a hole to hang them. So I'm going to use my Crop-A-Dile, one of my favorite tools. I got it at Amazon, and I'm literally just going to punch a hole at the top of each one. And that way I'll be able to string something in there, and I will be able to hang these on my tree or wherever I decide that I want to hang them. I have this red poly rope that you get in the automotive section at Dollar Tree. It's red and white actually, and I love it because it looks like candy cane or peppermint. And I'm just going to string it right in there. Now I was able to get the first one in just the way I'm doing it right now, but then I had to get a needle out and thread that because it was a lot easier because there's 3 pieces, so it tends to want to separate. So if you have like a upholstery needle or something, that'd probably be the easiest way to do this. And then I'm just going to cut off and make a knot at the top, and that way I'll have a way to hang my ornaments, and I'll do that with all 4 of my ornaments. Off camera, I took a white Arteza paint marker and I went over the letters that got lost in the red border that I had painted a little bit too thick. So I was able to touch that up, and you'll see in the final pictures at the end how you can actually read the letters much better. I absolutely love the way these turned out. I think they're so cute. They're so personalized. I didn't have to use a cutting machine, saved a ton of money, and I love it. So let me know, have you ever heard of Waterslide decals? And have you ever tried them? If you have heard of them, let me know what you think. And is this something you would ever want to try, especially those of you who don't have a cutting machine and need an alternative way to do something like this? I'll have more information on Hiipoo in my description box, including links and that discount code for you. And now for one last look at all of my adorable Christmas decor pieces, the ornaments and the sign. And this was so much fun using the Hiipoo transfer paper and their Waterslide decals. Something completely new. I have never used it before, but I would recommend it. I definitely would. It was very unique and I enjoyed it. Don't forget to check my description box. I'll have the links to my free printables there, as well as the information on how you can get the Hiipoo transfer paper and the Waterslide decals and the discount code. And I just want to say a big thank you to Hiipoo for sponsoring this video. Thank you so much for watching my video. It really means a lot that you take the time out of your day to watch my videos. And be sure to come back so I can see you in the next one. And remember, you are a blessing to me. If you like this video, I'll put a couple more up on the screen that I think you'll really like, so feel free to check them out.